In the difficulty, I saw that there was a huge need, and I fell in love with the people. I was originally asked to go to Syria for 3 months, but I have been here for 8 years now. I grew up in Christian family, and since I was 5 years old, I attended Sunday school at a church in Jordan. I grew in my faith as I learned about Christ through the scriptures. When I was 18 years old, I decided to join the Franciscan order as a Friar to follow Christ as a missionary in the world. In 2010, I had the opportunity to serve in Camden, New Jersey, at a home serving children who were differently abled. This is where I experienced a big transformation in my life, and I realized my calling to serve those who are in great need in the world. Then, in 2015, I was asked to go and serve in Syria. When I arrived in Damascus, the first few years were very difficult because of the war. There was a lot of bombing, and the area was surrounded by ISIS. The darkness was everywhere. Destruction, criminal activity, and leaders inciting to kill. In all the violence, people were very thirsty for God. So, when we went out to them to share the love of Christ, they noticed something was different. We welcomed them without discrimination, and they felt seen, protected, and cared for. Our ministry cares for the many different needs of the people. There are major shortage here of basic needs like food, medical support, and electricity. We share meals and food parcels, and we have a clinic that provides medicine and medical care. There is a serious electricity shortage across the country, and we usually only get about 2 hours of electricity per day. We created a study zone with solar panels in the shores so that there would be electricity and internet available for students to use. We also have programs to support people with jobs. One program focuses on jobs for our differently abled brothers and sisters. It's something I learned when I was in the States. Ways to help our brothers and sisters integrate into society and generate a meaningful salary. Because in the Middle East, they are often excluded or marginalized. We produced gifts like soaps, candles, and ornaments for Christmas and Easter. These gifts are even sold in different parts of Europe. We provide after-school programs for orphans, and we have a tailoring room with sewing machines to help women support their families. These are some of the ways we share Christ's love with the people, and through our programs they learn about God's Word. We also have many groups that pray together. Most of the people we serve are those who have been internally displaced due to the war and the recent earthquake. When the earthquake happened, we opened our doors to the people, and more than 400 people came to us. We hosted them for over a month and a half, providing 3 meals each day, clothing, and medicine. Many of these people had never been inside a church before. They were afraid and came to church to hide, and they felt protected. As people learn about Jesus through our programs, they develop a strong faith that actually teaches and inspires me more. They have powerful stories of hope, and they show me the power of Christ's light in the dark situations. There is a woman who is now part of our ministry. Her husband was killed by ISIS in front of her eyes. She fled with her children and lost everything: her husband, her home, her livelihood. But she still found new hope to continue her life, despite the extreme brokenness she experienced. Today, she works in our tailoring room as she raises her children. Our ministry started with 186 families, and today we have over 700 families. People are drawn to Christ's light, and as they grow in their faith, they are the ones shining His light. But of course, it is also not easy for people to live openly as Christians here. Christians who have converted from a Muslim background are unable to confess their faith publicly because there is a lot of persecution. There is a lot of fear. Some people decided to leave the country to be able to live their faith openly. To live as a Christian in the Middle East, we must carry our cross daily. That is the reality. Even with the challenges and risks, we are able to grow and serve more people with the love of Christ, because we are doing this together with our partners, our global partners. We are all praying and working together, shoulder to shoulder. Many people here and all over the world are in desperate need of the hope that only Christ can give. People are moving around everywhere due to immigration and forced displacement. Many people are in desperate situations. We need to remember that the church is not the building. The church is the people of God. So, wherever we are, and wherever God calls us to in this world, we must go out and welcome those who need Christ. And I always say, one day when things get better in Syria, I will go to somewhere more difficult, if that is where God calls me.